You, the woman with the sword.
Let's talk about Ghost of Yōtei. Firstly, this is not a review of the game, but more of a first impression. Just my personal opinion. I don't own a PlayStation, but I had the chance to play the game at a friend's place who has a console. And after playing it for around 5 to 6 hours, I can confidently say I already feel bored of it. I just can't relate to it the same way I did with Ghost of Tsushima. Graphically, the game is stunning, but that's all it has. Everything about it makes me wonder why I'm not just replaying its predecessor instead. To put it into a few words, Ghost of Yōtei feels like an inferior version of Ghost of Tsushima. A lot of my criticism comes from the fact that I played and loved the first game, and Yōtei feels way off. Let's start with the combat. In Yōtei, they replaced the stances with different types of weapons. It just feels wrong seeing the main character, Atsu, pulling out a spear mid-fight when she already has her katana in hand. The stances felt like a more believable system, and they also looked better from an animation standpoint. Maybe I'm nitpicking because I prefer the old system, but I really feel that instead of improving the old combat, they just put a new coat of paint over it and somehow made it worse. The new weapons are fine for players who want variety, but I don't like being forced to use them to maximize damage against certain enemies. Personally, I just want to play only with katanas. They could have introduced these weapons and also added stances for each of them. That way, if players wanted to stick with just a spear the entire game, they could still use different stances with it. Even worse, they now give us the option to use dual katanas, so why not let me use them all the time? I just want to fight with dual katanas, but if I don't switch weapons for certain enemies, they take forever to die. The game basically forces me to use weapons I don't want to play with. Don't get me wrong, the combat is still way better than in other games like Assassin's Creed. But for someone who loved the first game, this feels like a downgrade. Again, new players might not notice this issue the same way. The second and most important problem I have, the one that makes me want to stop playing and go back to Tsushima, is the new protagonist. And this has nothing to do with her being a woman. Atsu is just boring and shallow. We see her reason for revenge, but nothing about her makes me care about her or her journey. Honestly, her story feels less like revenge and more about dealing with trauma.
No! No!
Compare this to Ghost of Tsushima, where Jin Sakai's journey takes him from being an honorable samurai to becoming an outlaw. He sacrifices his honor to save his people from the Mongol invasion. His path is both complex and emotional. It's about revenge, yes, but also about duty, honor, and survival. It's a journey about defending his people, preserving their culture, and fighting back against overwhelming odds. That's a story that resonates with players.
We saved your town. Now, we help Lord Shimura save our island!
We are not soldiers!
Who killed these Mongols? Who stood against the siege? Who saved Yarikawa? We did!
You can't just stay here and wait for the Mongols to try again!
You say you are not soldiers. You are warriors. We can defeat the invaders and save our home, but only if we stand together.
From the very start, we see Jin's development. He doesn't start as the ghost, but he becomes the outlaw and earns that title. Atsu, in comparison, feels hollow. Maybe her character develops later, But if the developers can't make the intro strong enough to hook players, why should I care about the late game?
You never answered my question. How much am I worth to the Yōtei Six? Lord Saitō is cheap.
He owns this island.
For now.
The opening hours are the most important, and Ghost of Yōtei didn't hook me, it did the opposite. It made me want to replay the first game instead. We literally just have a slideshow of pictures with narration for the intro.
In the memory of a burning tree. But it was in war that I learned to kill. I bloodied my father's blade with nameless enemies.
While in Ghost of Tsushima, we get a full battle scene that tells the story step by step in a show-don't-tell kind of way. What disappoints me most is that they didn't continue Jin's story. Ghost of Tsushima never truly ended. At the end of the game, Jin and Yuna mention they have unfinished business.
Our home isn't. The Khan's forces are stuck here, more desperate than ever to conquer our island.
Then we'd better keep fighting. Sensei Ishikawa is still hunting his student.
Probably wondering what's taking me so long to show up. Where is Lady Masako?
Tracking her family's killers. I offered to help, but she wasn't interested.
She shouldn't do it alone. I'll find her. Did you talk to Norio?
He said the monks still need support.
I should check on Yuriko. The invasion's taken a toll on her.
She's not the only one.
What about you? We still have unfinished business in Otsuna.
We do. Just don't forget. Tsushima needs you.
I'll never forget that.
Good. We'll cover more ground if we split up.
Hit the Mongols from all sides. Take back our home.
And historically, there was a larger Mongol invasion of mainland Japan, and they could have built the story around that. I'd understand if they wanted to show a different era, but Yōtei takes place 300 years later. And honestly, it doesn't look much different. It even reuses assets from Tsushima. So, what's the point of the time jump? It feels like they ignored their core audience by abandoning Jin's story. And just to be clear, I don't hate Atsu or female protagonists. I'm actually incredibly hyped to play as Ciri in the upcoming Witcher because we already know her and her journey. Atsu needed a stronger prologue to make me want to see her story unfold, something beyond just revenge. Even Ubisoft, as out of touch as they are, understood what fans wanted with Assassin's Creed. They took Ezio, their most beloved character, and kept making games with him until his journey felt complete. Atsu, instead, feels more like Connor from Assassin's Creed 3, driven by revenge, but shallow, forgettable, and one of the weakest protagonists in the franchise. I honestly don't know what Sucker Punch was thinking when they decided not to continue Jin's story. In my opinion, Ghost of Yōtei is an inferior product to their previous game. To end this video, let me be fair. Ghost of Yōtei is still a very good game. New players will probably enjoy it more than Assassin's Creed Shadows, no question. But for me, it doesn't click. It just makes me want to go back and replay Ghost of Tsushima because that story, those characters, and that combat system with stances were far more engaging. And that's just my take. I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment, and if you like this video, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.